An hour of fresh air, literally. Lunch break is barely long enough to process the morning trauma at the office. Meanwhile, my lungs are still attempting to metabolize 3 liters of deodorant a coworker decided to spray in a windowless room. It remains unclear whether it was intended for ambient use, armpits, or military deployment. I recall the fragrance, shuttered hopes on the last conference call, with a built-in smokescreen effect. That product devoured in a single gulp the good old stale oxygen that had lingered there since the branch opened back in 1990, replacing it with a solid, compact substance specifically engineered to cast a mold of your lungs in the Zap style of Monchi's The Scream. But right now, I am here. There is the scent of pine resin, and for a fleeting moment, the respiratory system relaxes and forgets. It doesn't last, obviously. The lungs instantly snap back to their customary state of high alert because 20 yards away a smoker is unleashing toxic plumes on a provincial scale. On the ground, the hands are scurrying frantically, precisely as I shall be doing myself in 20 minutes' time. But for now, I can stay a little longer, writing in this notebook while the birds chirp away like maniacs. Judging by the tone, I presume they too have an alignment call at 5 o'clock. Besides, I do want to come across as a positive, outgoing person during work hours, but the very second the clock runs out, I have vastly better things to do than chat with human beings. Today, you've lucked out because I'm in the park. Usually, however, my lunch break involves taking a nap in the back seat of my car in the cemetery parking lot. It is nothing compared to the eternal rest, of course, but it does bring you back to life. 40 minutes flat with the finest people in town. The only real logistical precaution is not falling into deep slumber to avoid some overzealous caretaker cremating me in my sleep to optimize his schedule. Every now and then, during the break, I take the opportunity to check the notification that came in on my mobile during working hours. And I get proof that our phones are indeed listening to us 24/7. I have a chat with a colleague in the morning and, shortly after, my smartphone suggests an article titled "Typical Phrases of Emotionally Unstable People." It was a literal transcript of everything I had just said. Yesterday, after a one-sided meeting with my boss, Google suggested I look into 5 signs your father is emotionally immature. Even though my algorithm has learned to be passive-aggressive, it makes me feel really understood. Last week, I almost had a panic attack when faced with a huge to-do list for which management could only provide the deadline, but not the what, the how, and least of all, the why. In those moments of existential paralysis, my shock therapy of choice is a good podcast on the propaganda and manipulation techniques of history's greatest dictators. Besides, since I work in marketing, it even counts as a professional training. But when I finally catch my breath, it's already time to head back to the office.